Old Lady Claire, when the hell are you going to leave my brother? You're old as a rock now and still haven't given him any kids. Do you understand that you're the one holding my brother back from being a real man? I don't like to see him hanging on to such spoiled trash, so please either give him some kids, which might be impossible for you, or get lost.
Ruby, again with all of this? I told you this before. The two of us are not going to get a divorce. And when it comes to having kids, the way you talk about it is rude. I'm very sure that if things like having kids or not were a big deal to him, he would have made that a lot clearer to me before we'd gotten married. So how about you lay off of me for a change and just focus on your own life?
I feel so bad for my brother, though. He had to marry someone as defective as you. If he'd just gone with someone half his age, he would be better off and happy. But all he has now is a grandma that doesn't do anything besides work all day. I might just have to go and talk to him again about this and see if he's willing to get one of my friends pregnant.
Hey, do you not realize how rude you're being to me? I know you've been against me for a while, but we're both adults here and should keep to ourselves if we don't want anything to do with the other rather than start something. And by the way, when it comes to having kids, the one who you should have a problem with isn't me, but rather your older brother. We've told everyone in the family now that we are still going through infertility treatments, right? And what the hell was that last comment?
Is that how you're going to pass off your problems? There's no way that my brother has problems making kids. It's always been the women that have the issues, right? And I'm sure this is all due to you being old and worn out now.
That is not the problem here, though. I get that you don't want to accept reality because you're so in love with your brother, but being this rude and aggressive towards me needs to end.
Huh? Don't say that kind of nasty stuff. What does me loving my brother have to do with you being a defect? I'm not having problems accepting reality either.
You're not? Because right now it seems like you've made a world of your own to escape the truth of this world.
I feel that you're getting the wrong idea here, so I'll tell you straight. Even though you're married to my brother, you'll always be an outsider. I've never thought of you as my family, and I never will. So stop trying to act like you are so close to me when you aren't.
All right, I get that. But I am still married to your brother, and him and I are family and plan to grow it. So I'd rather you not talk bad about us and be nice.
Huh? Shut up! You're gross! Are you saying all of this because you're that old? I'm sorry, but you're never going to have a family with my brother.
You call me old and all that, but I'm still in my early 30s. I don't think this is the correct age for you to be calling me a grandma or anything close to that.
Well, I'm in my early 20s. And to me, a woman that's only just gotten married in her 30s is garbage, right? How the hell did you even get my brother to start liking you?
When he saw that I was working very hard in my career, he fell in love with me and told me just that. Of course, I did spend a lot of my younger years working, but now that I have him in my life, I'm a very happy woman.
And of course you are. Who wouldn't be happy being married to my brother? But the fact that you got to marry him without ever getting my permission first?
The only reason you're upset is because you've somehow chosen to hate me. Even your parents like me more than you do. But you are the only one in the family that seems to have something out for me. I remember when your brother had first brought me over saying I was his girlfriend. You were so cold to me and never spoke a word to me.
So you're going to blame me for hating you because you don't understand your own problems? If you were an actual decent woman, I'd be all right with you. Well, it doesn't matter what you go on about anyway, as I don't have the attention span to listen to an old hag.
Is that so? All right then. I've always been aware of you hating me, but recently you've really gone and made it clear to me. Is this all because I'm married to your brother now?
Huh? That has nothing to do with this. I guess I just feel that after I get married, you're only going to get worse around me acting like you know everything. So that's why right now, I'm trying to prevent you from being a pain in my butt.
I knew it. I am not trying to do anything bad over here. I just wanted to be married to your brother and start a wonderful family with him, so you really don't have to worry about me heckling you all the time because I have my family to focus on.
You talking like you're my older sister is really freaking annoying. The only person that I see as my sibling is my brother. I'll never accept you as my sister-in-law, okay?
I know that already. If you keep saying that over and over to me, you're really going to piss me off, so please stop.
Well, that's what I want to happen, actually. Awesome. I'm finally starting to dig deeper into you. Well, if you're getting annoyed with me, don't you think it's a good time to leave my brother? You hate having a little sister like me, right?
I'm not getting a divorce over something like that. I guess no matter what I tell you, it's useless. Well, go ahead and do as you please.
Good work today, Claire. As for the next meeting that's been planned for everyone within the company, we're going to move forward with what's on the schedule. If you have anything to say about it, please let me know.
All right, thank you. I think continuing with things the way they are is okay. And this time, your cousin will be there as well, right? So please don't feel as though you need to ask me before going ahead with the plans.
Thank you very much. I'm really looking forward to this. I hope that this will really improve everyone within the company.
Right now, I'm having a look at everyone coming to the meeting. This Kevin Sanders is your cousin, correct? I need to make sure to go greet him myself.
And that would make myself and Kevin very happy. Kevin respects you very much, and that's why he'd really like to work for a long time within your company.
No, that's great to hear and all, but he has to bring the right tools to the table and show me that he's willing to work.
Of course, but you said it yourself that you're wanting to take some time and be back home with your family, correct? Back when you drank a bit at that party?
Well, that's the truth, actually. But for the time being, it'll be a distant hope of mine. Just know that I'm not going to be stepping down from my position.
That's great to hear. I know it's a troubling task to have to balance both work and home, and I'm still wondering if you've become more distant from your sister-in-law? I heard that things between you two have been rough.
Well, about that. She's planning to get married soon. But if I were to come to her wedding, she'd definitely cut ties with me. Well, her parents and my husband don't really mind that happening, though, and actually think it'd be a good thing for us.
Huh? She's getting married now? I never thought someone with her personality would ever be able to land a man willing to tie the knot with her.
Actually, I was thinking the same thing. Crazy that there's someone in this world that actually likes her back. When she introduced him to the family, she spoke to me with such a terrible tone. But somehow, that didn't seem to faze him at all.
That's wild. But the fact that he's willing to marry her is a great thing, and I'm thankful for that. She'll finally have something to keep her busy, like making a family with him. And that'll be the perfect time for you both to cut ties.
Right? And now that we're talking about it, there's something funny I've noticed regarding the people on this list. There's someone here that has the same name as her fiancé.
What? Are you sure? There's no way that could be a coincidence, right? Who is it?
A man by the name of Davis Fletcher. Well, I'm sure that it's just someone who happens to have the same name.
No, I think there's a real chance he's her fiancé. What will you do if he is the real man?
Well, if that's actually the case, then I'll have a good laugh at first.
Well, it would be pretty funny if he's actually going to be marrying her. I want to believe it. Their relationship being in close proximity to you would really be a game changer.
Sure would be. Well, I'll let you know if that's really him and what happens after. Make sure to hope for it, though.
Will do. I'll be going now.
Have a good day, and thank you.
What? Have you really come to my wedding? What the hell do you think you're doing? I never even asked for you to be at this wedding.
You can say that, but I'm still your family, and I'm not here today, though, to shove that in your face. In terms of why I'm actually here, it's only to see the wedding, and that's it.
Do you not understand English or something? Why would I ever invite you to my wedding when you're just some old hag? For what reason did you really come today, Grandma? There's no seat for you here, so get out, please.
Hey, Ruby, I think I've had enough of you. You and I are done.
Huh? What are you talking about? Have you finally gone off the deep end, you rotten apple?
This is your husband, Davis, and I've come to see my CEO and speak with her. And while I was talking with her, you happened to send her some very inappropriate messages. And my CEO, Claire, was kind enough to show them all to me.
Huh? Wait, what are you saying? This is really you, Josh? Why would you be using my sister-in-law's cell phone right now?
After seeing what you'd been saying to her, I asked to borrow her phone so that I could speak with you. And from what I've seen come out of your deranged head, I want you to come and apologize to her right now.
Huh? I have no idea what's going on right now. Can you tell me what's actually going on right now?
Ruby, this is me again. I just got my phone back from Davis. I'll be explaining everything to you now.
What the hell are you talking about? Why are you and Josh acting like you know one another so well?
Well, the company that Davis was accepted into happens to be the company that I run.
Huh? You're not kidding me, right? Wait, you have been a CEO? For real?
And it makes sense that you're only learning about that now. Back when I'd gone to your parents' house to introduce myself and tell you all my career, you spilled hot tea all over my lap and then ran off. And you were then never able to hear about who I am and what I do.
Well, I'm sure that something like that happened a while back. Wait, you haven't actually been showing Davis everything I've sent to you, right?
Oh, I have been. Right now, he's standing next to me looking like a ghost after all he's read. I've heard from him that you talked all sorts of trash about me before to him, and that you planned on cutting ties to me after the wedding, right?
I did.
Well, don't worry, because that's what I'm planning to do as well. So hey, let's cut all ties right now. I feel that at the point we're at now, that's really the only option.
Well, that's fine by me. But that also means you'll be divorcing my brother now, right?
Nope. I've been having a wonderful time being your brother's wife. We would never think of splitting up just to please his bratty little sister. Really, we're just going to be cutting ties with you.
Huh? I'm not okay with that, no, actually. I meant that you leave my whole family when I said I'd cut ties with you.
But in your case, you'll be out of your family's house once you're married. The only one getting kicked out of the family will be you, right?
Why would I? Shut up, you old outsider!
You really can't stop talking. Well, don't worry, because I've thought about that as well. If you're going to keep trying to stay around my family, then I'm going to cut ties with your husband as well and fire him from the company.
Huh? Wait, why? That has nothing to do with us, right?
Oh, it has a whole lot to do with us. Your husband is going to be working for me. You wouldn't want that, right?
That and this are two completely separate topics, though. Davis is so happy to have a job there right now. He's going to have a really good salary there, and I'll be able to become his housewife soon as well. Our marriage will be perfect as long as he has that job.
That sounds too good to be true, don't you think? I'd really want to cut ties with me, but you also want your husband to work for me?
But if he continues to work there for you, you'll one day give him your role, and he'll get the company, right? So I think we can stay a family for a little while longer.
What? Who do you think you are? You've told me so many times that you hate me, and after the amount of times I've had to deal with you, why would I ever make your husband the next CEO, allowing you to have a wonderful life?
I get it. I don't want things to get out of hand. You're more than welcome to be at the wedding today, but just make sure to make Davis the next CEO.
Hold on. What are you talking about, Claire? You're asking for him to be the next CEO, when I'm considering having him fired right now. You know that after this, you and I will never see one another again, so you should be happy that I'm covering all my bases.
But that's taking things way too far. What did Davis ever do to deserve this?
He married someone like you is what he did. He doesn't seem to be smart enough to choose a good wife for himself. Do you think you can live a happy life married to him after this?
There's no way you can do that.
There's always the possibility that if you were to divorce Davis and to come to me right now asking for forgiveness on your hands and knees, I let him keep his job. But just a second ago, you made it seem pretty clear that you would be fine without me around. Well, it doesn't matter now because I've already made up my mind to cut ties with you. So I don't care what happens to you both.
You're kidding me, right? I was so happy to finally have the chance to be a housewife. My life is going to be ruined.
Well, that's all thanks to your horrific attitude. Right now, Davis is pretty furious with you. I think, by the way he's talking about you, your marriage to him won't last much longer. Your time is fleeing you very quickly, so you'd better get to work on changing your personality and making things right with him. After everything that had been building up between them, it was only a matter of time before Davis exploded. The pressure had been mounting for months, maybe longer, like a pot on the verge of boiling over. You could see it in the way he carried himself. His shoulders were always tense, hunched just slightly like the weight of his choices, and hers. Were pressing down on him constantly. His jaw stayed clenched whenever Ruby entered the room, and his eyes, once bright and kind, had dulled with exhaustion and heartbreak. His hands shook when he thought no one was watching. The people closest to him noticed. They just didn't know what to say. After all the betrayal, the humiliation, the emotional manipulation, Davis had become a ticking time bomb, set to blow at the slightest spark. And when he finally snapped, It wasn't subtle. It wasn't quiet. It wasn't a private meltdown behind closed doors. It was loud. It was public. It was brutal. And it was unforgettable. It happened outside the venue where their wedding had already collapsed in chaos. The guests had seen the signs. Awkward silences, exchanged glares, whispered arguments in corners, but nobody had expected this. Ruby arrived late, of course, dressed like the queen of the show she thought she was still running. She approached Davis as if the last week hadn't happened, as if she hadn't been caught cheating, as if she hadn't spent months turning his love into a weapon and his trust into a joke. She walked up to him with that same smirk she always used when she thought she was about to win, that same calculated charm she used to bend men to her will. Maybe she thought she could reel him back in one last time, but she misjudged, badly. Davis had reached a point beyond reason, beyond saving. Without a single word, Davis let his fist fly. It wasn't just a slap or a shove. It was a punch, hard and fast. With the kind of rage that only comes from a deep betrayal, it landed square on Ruby's face. Her eyes went wide with shock, but she didn't even have time to scream before she hit the pavement. She crumpled like a broken puppet, the smugness wiped clean from her expression in one crushing blow. Gasps filled the air. A few people screamed. She didn't move for nearly a full minute. Her eye was already turning black and purple, swelling grotesquely, and the silence that followed was thick and suffocating. For a long, frozen moment, nobody knew what to do. Then chaos erupted. Several guests rushed over. Some to help Ruby, some to pull Davis back, unsure whether he might strike again. Davis didn't resist. He stood still, staring down at her with wide, empty eyes. It wasn't triumph on his face. It was devastation. His hands trembled, not with anger, but with a dawning horror of what he'd done. Some men grabbed him, restraining him more for his own safety than hers. A few looked like they were afraid he might turn that violence inward next. Someone called the police. They arrived quickly, asking questions, trying to understand the situation. Both Davis and Ruby were detained, not arrested, but separated and taken in for questioning. The wedding venue, once a place meant for joy, had become a crime scene, but while many were shocked by the violence, few were surprised by the breakdown. The tension had been simmering for months. It had just finally erupted. In the days that followed, the story spread like wildfire, and when the full truth began to unravel, the damage Ruby had caused became undeniable. She had been manipulating Davis for nearly a year, cheating with multiple men, using Davis's career connections to boost her social standing, lying to his friends and family to keep her web of deceit intact. Worse still, she flaunted her affairs, taking pleasure in the confusion and heartbreak she created. Davis wasn't just another boyfriend to her. He had been her ultimate prize, the man she paraded around as proof of her success. And when she had him wrapped tightly enough around her finger, she broke him on purpose. Just to prove that she could. But Davis wasn't the only one. In the aftermath, 3 other men came forward with similar stories, each one detailing how Ruby had seduced them while they were married, manipulated them into turning against their spouses, and then left them in ruins. It wasn't a relationship gone bad. It was a pattern, a hobby even, a game. The media caught wind of it, and soon Ruby was being dragged through the public square. Her name trended online, not with admiration, but with outrage. People called her a predator, a narcissist, a homewrecker on a campaign of destruction. Her friends, what few she had left, fell away quickly, not wanting to be associated with a scandal. Even her family, long exhausted by her selfishness, refused to defend her. Lawsuits began to pile up, not just from Davis, but from the wives of the other men she had targeted. Emotional distress, defamation, financial exploitation. The accusations were numerous and damning. Ruby, who once had everything handed to her, was suddenly drowning in legal fees, bad press, and a public reputation she could never hope to repair. She tried to paint herself as the victim, claimed Davis was unstable, that he'd been stalking her, threatening her, that the punch was the culmination of months of abuse. But it didn't stick. Too many people knew the truth. Too many had seen her for who she really was. The last time I saw her was in a grainy photo that circulated online. Ruby sitting alone outside a courthouse, her once perfect hair in tangles, sunglasses hiding the blackened eye that still had not fully healed. She looked small, not in the literal sense, but in the way people look when the power they held evaporates. She wasn't the master manipulator anymore. She was just a cautionary tale. As for Davis, he didn't get off clean either. Violence has consequences, and no matter the justification, his outburst led to mandatory counseling and a restraining order. But while he accepted his punishment, he didn't spiral. In fact, once the dust settled, he started putting himself back together, piece by piece. He moved in with his sister for a while, got into therapy, and started working freelance. There was no dramatic rebound, no instant healing. But there was growth. Quiet, consistent healing. He wasn't trying to win anyone back. He was just trying to feel human again. People have asked me if I feel sorry for Ruby, if seeing everything that's happened to her. I wish things had turned out differently, but I don't. Not really. When someone goes out of their way to destroy others, to hurt people for fun, to manipulate and belittle and lie until there's nothing left, what sympathy can you honestly give them when the tables finally turn? Ruby didn't fall from grace. She jumped. I think back sometimes to the way she smiled at me that day, before she tried to destroy my life too. She was so sure of herself, so gleeful in her cruelty. She thought she'd won, that she'd taken everything from me. But what she never understood was that I wasn't trying to win. I just wanted peace. And now, finally, I have it. My life isn't perfect. No one's is. But it's mine. And I'm living it without lies, without manipulation, without the dark cloud that Ruby once cast over everything. I've rebuilt slowly, surrounded myself with people who truly care, and chosen love that uplifts rather than diminishes. I don't need revenge. I don't need closure. I just need a distance, and I have that now, more than ever. If I ever see Ruby again, it won't be with fear or anger. It'll be with the calm certainty that she no longer has any power over me. She was a chapter in my life, a painful, chaotic one, but she's no longer the story. And if there's one lesson I hope others take from all of this, it's this. Protect your peace. No matter how charming someone seems, how beautiful, how confident, they can still be poison. And once you recognize that, don't wait. Walk away. Run if you have to, because life is too short to let someone like Ruby decide your worth. I survived her. I survived the destruction. And now, every day that I wake up in my own bed, surrounded by the people who matter, I'm reminded that surviving was just the beginning. Thriving, truly thriving, is the real ending, and mine is just beginning. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.